Y'all don't understand how hard it was to actually set up this camera just now. Also, there's outside noises, so I apologize in advance if y'all could hear that. What up, everybody? I'm Jameson. I'm the filmmaker behind The Starter. I know I said I wasn't gonna do a lot of these videos where I'm talking at y'all like this, but I was going through memory lane. I wanted to share this with y'all because as I was going through some of these things, I started to realize, like, wow, you really see my mask journey coming together. And some of these things actually inspired the movie. So I wanted to show y'all and share that because I think this is important to know, like, where I'm coming from, why this story is the one that was near and dear to my heart. So first and foremost, we're gonna start with some baby pictures of me. Okay, I'm gonna start with a baby picture. So this picture is really like special to me because it has my papa in it, who I love. He's from New Orleans. My family goes generations back in New Orleans, so he is my maternal grandfather. And like, yeah, I grew up with him. He was like a second father to me, and I mean, a big part of like where our relationship came from was he would take me out around the city because the city was important to him. So like going to Second Lines was important. Learning about the history of New Orleans was important. He was actually the one that influenced me to play music when I was younger. So I became a trumpet player. And he actually like really encouraged me to continue playing the trumpet. And so I played the trumpet really up until 8th grade, when I started leaning into theater a lot more as an actor. So yeah. Love you, Papa. And so, like I said before, my Papa, New Orleans was important to him. So one of the things that he would always do, one of the things my dad would always do even, was take us out to parades, take us out to Second Lines, like take us places where we could be intertwined with our culture, specifically in New Orleans. So it's not just like go to a Mardi Gras parade, catch some bees, go home. I have a lot of pictures like this throughout my life, and some of them I'm not even in, because right after, I think maybe a couple years after I was this age, I'm like 11 in that picture. So a couple years later, when I was like 14, I got my first camera. And so after I got my first camera, that's when I stopped being the subject of these pictures, and I started like recording and taking pictures of folks at Second Lines. I wish I had a lot of that stuff now. So this picture is Halloween. I remember we used to go like, what's the hay rides or the pumpkin patch, picking, Peter Piper picked a pep, that thing. We go on the hay rides every year for Halloween back when I lived in Grambling. So this one, I mean, there's not really a lot to it. It's just a picture of me and my dad. I wanted to show this because this is kind of like the beginning crux of like where the pictures kind of shift and mold or change. I mean, I was a young trans child. Like I was really a trans child. You don't really see it yet, but it's coming. Especially like after, I didn't really worry about it when I was younger because I played sports a lot. I was always hanging with boys. Like back then we was playing soccer, like on the boys team like that. They didn't split up the genders. So I really believed I was a boy. Yeah, so this next picture, so I loved wrestling growing up. I loved WWE. My papa was into it. We go over there, we watch Monday Night Raw, we watch all the episodes, whatever it was, we'd be taping it, watching it whenever we came over. Me and my cousins, we had like all the sets and everything like that, the like action figures that you can like play with them. We would learn like the moves. We had the video games, everything. When I tell you we was a WWE household, we was a WWE household. This picture, actually, so it's not Macho Man, and that's not Goldust, because by the time this picture was taken, unfortunately, Macho Man was already. But this was Monday Night Raw in New Orleans. My dad took me and he saw these wrestlers, because I don't know how much, I actually don't know to this day how much of a true wrestling fan my dad was, but he knew who Macho Man was. I knew Randy Savage. If that makes sense. Like it was watching the older wrestling clips was kind of harder to come by because this is still the early 2000s. This is pre like streaming for real. So the way that I found out about these wrestlers was YouTube videos and hearing stories from my dad and my grandpa. And that was pretty much that. But yeah, I love wrestling. I still had the pink, still maintaining the femininity, but like at the core, I was a masculine child. I was 11 in the wrestling picture, which means I was probably like 9 in the Zulu picture, or like 8. The youngest I would have been is 7. So anywhere between 7 and 11. Shout out Beyonce. But this picture right here is where we get into the starter territory. This is when I was at least 12. I believe I was 12 in this picture. I couldn't have been no older than 14, no younger than 11. This, I was born and raised a Laker fan because my dad's from LA, shout out. And so this picture was actually taken when the year, I believe this is the year that the Pelicans became the Pelicans and the Lakers came to play them. We had season tickets at the time. Either that or we had just gotten rid of the season tickets. My dad only wanted to see the Lakers. Boom, got these tickets, showed up in our Laker gear, and popped out to the game. Now me as a child at the time, because I was with my dad, I was getting to wear the Laker jersey because I don't get to wear like jerseys. I didn't get to wear boy clothes a lot growing up, even though I really wanted to. So anytime I did, I really went out of my way to take the opportunity, especially in athletics. Like when I tell you sports was my way to belong and to be myself, it was truly that, and that's what I see. That's really what this movie was inspired by. I was 13 in this picture, stuffing all my hair into a hat, trying to look as much like a boy as I possibly could. And yeah, like I definitely was wearing a sports bra under there, trying to like bind as much as I could. Still binding. What's up? You'll see when the movie comes out that there's a character in the movie that's kind of inspired by this particular point of my experience. And so like, yeah, this is I'm actually so glad that I found this picture in particular, because I wanted to be able to show like the designers, everybody, like what this character is, who this character is. So yeah, this needed to be a movie because there's a way that this can capture that experience that I grew up with in a way that if I didn't show y'all these pictures, y'all wouldn't have understood. So I have no doubt that the movie is a medium for this. And so I'm excited to tell this story. I'm glad y'all came on this journey with me. I hope I can cut this down to a reasonable video. Peace and love and blessings. Please, please, please follow The Starter on Instagram. I just announced that I got into a Sundance program a couple weeks ago. By the time this video will be coming out, it'll be a couple weeks ago. Big announcements are coming soon, so y'all stay tuned, because we in this thing for life, fool.